What's up, everyone? Eric Allen, founder of Planiversity, back with you again. Today, we're going to quickly walk you through the Connect feature on Planiversity. So if you've used Planiversity in the past, then you know that the system is typically a master itinerary builder, right? That's at least how it started. You would come to us to build a master trip or event itinerary. You plug in all of your data. At the end, you get to personalize it, name it, export it, and then the system takes all that information, organizes it, and then generates a PDF document out of it, right? Well, that's the way we did operate. Now, in the last few months, we've actually gone ahead and released our companion app, which allows you to actually see live information versus just a static document. And that static document being the PDF that we're talking about, right? You can access the PDF document anytime. You can access it from the desktop. You can access it from the application. But if you want live information, if you want something that you can actually amend the information on continuously, then you're going to love that live section, right? And the way that we depend on that live section, especially when it comes to connecting team members or planning for a group of more than just one person, right, is you need that connect feature. And the brilliance about it is that if you have maybe you're working for a carpet cleaning service as an example, and you have 3 different teams of 3 different individuals all going to different locations throughout the day, right? Well, maybe with those 3 different teams throughout the day, you want to plan and be able to feed them information. And you want to do it in a little bit more of a professional and comprehensive information way than just sending them a text message or generating an email and sending that to them, right? With Planiversity, you can actually build out the job, build out the event information, and then you send it to them. Once you connect that plan to those individuals, it shows up in their companion app, and now they have that live information. So today, I'm just going to show you how to put together that plan, or in other words, how to actually connect that plan. That's the more important thing today, right? How to connect that plan to not just 1, but 2, 3, 10, 20 people, as many people as you have in a group, right? You can absolutely do that. If you have a travel group and you have 10 people going to Mexico, you have 20 people going to Ireland, you can absolutely generate a plan for the entire group and then broadcast that plan out to everybody so that everybody's on the same page. They don't have about 50 emails to go through to sift out the important information, because let's be honest, right? Most of the time, emails, especially when they come across more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times, like at some point your attention level is just sinking lower and lower. So the more information that comes across, the less you pay attention to it, the more you're only looking for the relevant information, and now you're less inclined to read through the entire email, right? I don't know if it's like that with everyone, but I can tell you it's definitely like that with me, and as well as people that I've actually talked to about this, right? It's the more emails that come across, the more you're just kind of burdened by all the information. And then you're like, well, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm not reading all this. I'm not going through all this just trying to figure out what relates to me. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that I have the information that I know, or figure it out when I get there. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get into how this feature actually works. All right, here we are at the Planiversity dashboard. If you're already an existing Planiversity user, then you're very familiar with how this dashboard looks. Obviously, these are not going to be the images that always show up on your cards, because why? We can actually personalize the card. So you can actually go in, you can slap whatever cover on the cover of your PDF document, and whatever cover you put on that PDF document in the end, whatever you personalize it with, this is the image that's going to show up on your dashboard. It's going to be the image that shows up on your application. So just be aware of that. All right. So this is always going to change, but it also, it's good. It's aesthetic. It gives color and it gives contrast to the dashboard when you have images with color on here, right? But this is the dashboard anyway. And the connect feature, let's start from the first step. All right. If you want to actually connect people, this is how it's going to work. From your dashboard, you're going to come over here. Now, keep in mind, this is only a business feature. So if you're an individual user and you want to generate a plan and you want to connect it to 10 people because you want to go on a party, it's not going to work because you don't have the business features, all right? Some of the things that the business has that you won't have as an individual user is the migration tool, the jobs, the people, and the meetings database. All right. With this meetings, people, jobs database, and the migration feature, I have the business suite. Now, as an individual, you will have this event tab. You will have the marketplace. You'll, of course, have the travel booking section and your archive, and that is about it. So this is a specific to business only feature, all right? Now, if I'm the person in the business who's actually generating the plan, let's go back to that example that we talked about. I'm a carpet cleaning business. I've got 3 different teams going out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come over here and go to my people page. Now, one important thing to know about the connect feature is you cannot connect somebody if they do not have a customer number. So I'll just kind of take you back here quick. This is the customer number right here. So if I am a business and I want to connect other people, it's not going to work unless they have a connect or a customer number, all right? That is important to know. And do they actually need to pay for the service? No, they don't. They can actually create an individual account. So that is the thing about an individual user is you can receive information. You can receive plans from other people as long as you have an account. If you have a business account, you can receive them, you can send them. If you have an individual account, you can only receive those plans, all right? Because again, it is a plan or a function that's specific to businesses. Now, what you want to do is you can come down here and you can manually go ahead and you can put in all the information if you're bringing a new person into the business, if you're bringing or building your teams and groups. You come in here, you generate all this information. Now, if you know that that individual has actually gone ahead and already created an individual account, again, they don't have to pay to create an account. They can create an account. They can use 99% of the service without having to pay. But if they decide they want to use it on their own, create a plan for themselves and just go execute that plan, they would actually have to pay for that one-time use. Or, of course, if they want a monthly unlimited, then they have that option as well. But if you're the business, what you need to do is you need to get their customer number. Now, you can either just get their number from them, and you can go ahead and put the customer number right in this employee reference line. And once you search it, as long as it's in the database, it's going to go ahead and populate some of the information. But if you don't have their employee reference number, you can also just go ahead and you can put their email address in. Once you have an email address, as long as they've created an account, you click go, and that is going to populate their customer number. So you don't have to worry about saying, well, hey, let me find out what Eric's customer number is. No, as long as I have Eric's email address that he created his account with, I can just punch that in, select go, and it's going to go ahead and pull up that information right here as well as his name. And then the rest of the information, of course, you can just go ahead and generate on your own. Now, before we go even further, let me tell you about the group feature. So this was something that we just came out with recently. Instead of just picking individuals, let's just say I wanted to send this plan to 2 or 3 people because they're all going to the same location. The way it was is that you would actually have to go in and select them one at a time. You don't need to do that now. You can actually come in here, you can create a group, and then, of course, once you generate a new employee profile or a new team member profile, you can connect that person to the group. This just makes things a lot faster. So instead of selecting 10 different names, I can just say, well, I'm just going to take the Bosch group. I'm going to take the General group. I'm going to take the Florida Travel group. It's that much easier. But now we'll come back here. As soon as I create someone, I generate all of their information. I add them to a group. If it's a general, then just add a general. If it's, cleaning team A, then go ahead and create a group called Team Cleaning A or Cleaning Team A. And then you can just add Jane Doe or, John Doe to that group. And that way you'll actually be able to select the group. And once you export the plan, it will broadcast that plan out to all the individuals in that group, being John Doe. Now you can see down here, I've already created a number of profiles, and that's what it's going to look like is as long as I plug the information in, they have an employee reference number. I come down here, I've got all these customer numbers, and that's how I know I can actually plug information in or I can connect people to a plan. If I don't have this customer number down here, I cannot do that, okay? So again, if you come in here, you just generate a team member profile. If you don't have a customer number, you can still have that team member profile in here. It's not going to have anything to reference or send that information to. So right now, if I connect to any one of those people in my group, now as soon as I export the plan, it's going to show up in their desktop, it's going to show up in their application, and now they just receive the information and go. But if I don't have that customer number, I have nowhere to send that to. The system doesn't know where to point that information and send it to. So that's step one. Create the profile, create the groups, and now it's going to be that much easier once you get to the connect feature. Let's come back here to the home page. And I've gone ahead and I've already started a plan. You can see down here that there's an incomplete plan. Again, if you didn't know this already, when you do generate a plan, if you don't have all the information right there and then, and you at least want to get the plan started, you have that option to do so, and the system's going to automatically save that information for you. All right. You don't have to worry about where's the save button. I don't want to lose all this information. If your computer battery dies, if you're out and about and you need to close that laptop quick, or if you got something going on, you got to answer a call, whatever. If you need to just go back to the dashboard or close the site out, your information is automatically stored, so that way you don't lose it all. Okay, that's one of the awesome things about this service. But let's go ahead. We'll jump back into here. I'm going to get into this incomplete plan. Of course, it's going to want to walk me back down through the process. I don't need to do that. I've already gone ahead, and you can see right here, I'll kind of show you a few of the steps. I've just added a few things just to give us a little bit of, a few points to actually add in there. But I'm just going to continue to skip these sections. This right here was simulating a trip from the United States over to Rome, Italy. And you can see right here, we've actually landed in Rome, Italy. Let's continue on. So what I'm looking for, if I don't want to skip through every section and just get to the connect, I can just go ahead and go straight there. Otherwise, if I, of course, want to verify information, I can just go step by step through the process. Again, add more information, delete information, edit information. That's obviously up to you. Let's just say I forgot to add the weather in here. So I'm just going to add that weather, and now I'm good. I can just finish next step. Of course, it's going to want to walk me through the next process. Again, if you didn't know this, Planiversity is a very linear process, all right? We're not going to leave everything up to ambiguity. We're not going to leave any confusion out there. We want to walk you step by step through the process and make it as painless as possible, and that's how we do it, is keeping everything very linear, although it's highly customizable, all right? So let's go ahead, and I'm going to skip the plan section. Again, you can just go straight to connect, but we're just seeing, yep, we plugged in all this information. And now we're going to get to the connect step. So this is the awesome step. This is the part where you actually get to have that connectivity to other people, right? You get to create that plan, and now you're going to broadcast this plan out. It's not going to be automatic. You have to actually go through the export up here. But let's just say I come in here. Now, again, I can choose to just go group automatically. And you can see right here, it says select your group profile. I can select the general group, and of course, I would just add, and if there was anyone in that general group, if there was 5 people in it, it would add all those people. But I'm going to just come back here and say, no, I just want to connect it to 2, maybe 3 individuals from my cleaning group. So I'm going to come in here. I just go down the list. I can say, well, I'm going to add it to this individual. I'm going to add it to this individual. Of course, now these are just people that I've just generated accounts for, or just test accounts. And I'm going to go with this one as well. So there's my cleaning team, all right? I am ready to broadcast this information out to them. I put together an entire plan. They know what the schedule is. I've given them notes. I've given them resources for their location. In this case, they're going to Rome, Italy. Obviously, if it's a cleaning company, and they're just going local, you're not going to do an international travel. You're just going to create an event plan. But once I have that connect information generated, and now I just come over here to the next step. Let's just say finish next step. And now I can actually personalize it. So let's just say this is going to be for the Smith. Well, let's just come back here. Smith house cleaning. I can come over here. I can actually generate. Now, if you didn't know about this, we do have a review feature, so you can actually review all the information that goes in. Now, obviously, I've built this like a trip. Even though I'm using an example of a cleaning team, I've built this like a trip. I could go back in. I could change that to an event. I could, alter the information. But right now, it's fine. The most important thing is just to see how that connect feature works. And now I'm just going to go ahead and come over here. I'm going to personalize it. So let's just say I want to get a cleaning image. I can, of course, upload my own. I can put, my company logo in there. I can have my own page on there. But let's just say I'm just going to use something that's automatically generated. And how about this fancy little bottle of Windex, I assume, and paper towels. So that's going to be my cover image. And this is what your PDF document would actually look like. So once you're in the application, if you want to pull up the PDF, you absolutely can. But keep in mind, that is only static information. That's not live information. So if I come back into the system and I edit a plan, now they're not going to see that in the PDF unless they refresh everything and pull up a new PDF. But right now, as it stands, if I were to export this, it just takes a static shot of all that information I've just plugged in and generates a PDF out of that. It organizes all the information, gives me a PDF, but that's not what I want. That's not where the value of Planiversity is. I mean, that's helpful, but you want the live information. You want the thing where you can actually see the documentation. You can see all the address information. You can open something in Maps. You can get more information live. And if I need to change something, it's going to automatically change that in the app, and you don't have to go back into the PDF. If you ever decide you want to change the cover, of course, you can always change the cover over here. Let's say I didn't want that one, and maybe I want, let's just put this one in here. Again, that's exactly how you would do it. So as soon as I'm finished, I just go ahead and save that information. Now, you can see right here, we do have some State Department notifications. Obviously, if I'm just creating a plan where people are going to clean something, I don't want that information, all right? It's not going to give me that information if it's just an event, especially if it's an event within the United States. Now, if I do create an event and I want to send a cleaning team over to Rome, Italy, or I want to send them to England or Israel or China, it's going to give me State Department notifications based on that destination. So just keep that in mind. It's not automatic. It always depends on if it's international travel and if you're going somewhere outside the United States. I've got my title in there. I've got my image. Now I can just go ahead and proceed to PDF. And what it's going to do is it's going to start pulling all that information together. This usually takes about 30 seconds. You know, sometimes it could take 15 seconds if you have a little information to put in. And sometimes it could take a minute, maybe even a minute and a half or 2 minutes if you have a ton of information. So if I want this person to have as much information as possible, you know, maybe I want them to have every hospital within 5 miles at their destination, all the police stations, all the pharmacies, everything. I mean, all that information that you plug in, the system has to generate it and organize it, and that is why sometimes it'll take a few minutes. Now, you can see right here on my dashboard, I can already see the card. I just scroll down. There's my cover image that we put in there. If I want to change that, absolutely I can. I just come back in here and I just edit. I select that edit button. I can go back through everything. I can change the cover image and I can export it again, but I'm absolutely fine with what it's doing right now. One of the awesome things you'll also see about the Connect feature that we just installed recently is the check-in feature. So if you are somebody who's sending a team out there into the field, you know, to steam clean carpets or to, you know, pick up furniture or to deliver goods, something like that, you have a team out there of trainers, of engineers, of architects, whatever, and you want to keep them informed, obviously I can send information back and forth through the application just by editing. But if I want, I can also, and I'll show you how this works quickly. Let's come back in here. We're going to edit this. Now I'm going to show you how the check-in feature works because it's an awesome thing that kind of goes along with the Connect. Now, if I forgot to add something to that group, I can say, don't forget to pick up extra supplies. That's a scheduled event, so I can add an address there. I can say that's at 120 Main Street. Now I'm not going to do one in Rome, Italy, so I'll just select something here, and we're going to say that's going to be on November 3rd and at 9 a.m. This is going to be before they get to their 9:30 job start time. You know, obviously, again, you design the plan how you want. I'm just showing how this feature works. So if I say pick up extra supplies, now I can save that event. And if I want to add a check-in to that, I just select right here that I want to add a check-in feature, select OK. It's going to generate that card and it's going to show me a little check mark next to it, which relates to that check-in feature. So now, once those individuals on that team pull up the plan and they get to 9 o'clock in the morning, they go pick up their extra supplies, they're going to actually see a prompt in the application that says check in. And once they check in, here's the great part. I come back down here. I am the person, again, who's controlling this plan. I'm the one who generated the plan. I'm the one who's in control of everything. This is my control hub. I expand this card right here. I can see everyone who's attached to this plan. Now, that's me as a person who was actually creating the plan, and these are all the people that are actually attached. If somebody actually checks in, what you're going to see is you're going to see them check in from here. Now, I'll give you a little example of a test packet that I did recently. We'll expand this card, and you can see right here, I actually created a scheduled event that I have a business meeting at this time and this date. And I've gone ahead, once I got to that point, it was scheduled for 10 o'clock. I checked into it. That information was reported back to the website. So me as the planner, me as the person at the controls, I can see that this individual, Eric, has checked in for the business meeting. Now I don't need to micromanage him. I don't need to sit there and say, hey, look, are you there? Did you get it? Did you make it? You know, now I can say, hey, before you get to your job, I want you to pick up some extra supplies. And since I've said I want them to check in, now as soon as they check in, it's going to report back to the website, and I'm going to see that those individuals checked in at pick up extra supplies. So now I know they're there. They made it. They picked up the supplies. Good. I can relax. Now they're on to their job. That's it. That's how the Connect feature works. It's awesome. And I'll actually give you a quick image of how it actually comes across. So let's go ahead and pull that up here. All right, now just to give you an idea of how that information actually translates over to the application. Now, keep in mind, this is not the plan I just generated. This is not the one we were talking about. I didn't just pull out my phone and open up the app and actually screenshot this. This is what an example looks like. So this is something that was generated recently. But as soon as that information comes across, of course, you're going to have your flight information if you were just flying, if you were driving somewhere, if it's an event, if you were taking the train somewhere. That's what that first card's going to be, is that travel information, followed by your other cards. So if I generated plans, if I generated a scheduled event, this is what that scheduled event looks like if you've actually said you want to add a check-in feature there. So the person says, okay, I've gotten here. In this case, I'm supposed to arrive at my host home. So we'll say this was for a student traveling abroad. They got to their host home. They know that they were going to be there around a specific time, and they've just gone ahead and they've checked in. Once you actually checked in, it changes from check-in to checked in. It gives a little green arrow, so you know that you've already checked in. You've had your confirmation on the app side, and now that information reports back to the website, showing me, the planner, that you've checked in, you're good to go. We don't have comments yet, but the next version of the app that comes out, version 1.8, is actually going to have a messaging feature in there, as well as adding optional comments. So now you not only will see, let's go ahead and minimize this, you'll not only see checked in, but you'll also see checked in along with whatever comment they've added, if they want to add a comment. So maybe they say, I checked into the business meeting. 5 of the 10 people have, I don't know, whatever. 5 of the 10 people are here, or 5 of the 10 scheduled are here, or checked into the business meeting, all good. Boom. Now you have the information, you have their comments, and you're able to actually stay on top of things. So just imagine this is a plan that has 20 people, and you want to keep tabs on those 20 people. Why sit there and text the entire group? Why sit there and go through all this information? I would rather just be able to broadcast out what the plan is, have everyone check in. If someone needs to add comments, if someone needs to add something, now I've got it all right here. They all know what the plan is, and you, being the person at the controls, have issued that plan, and now you can actively manage it while it's underway. That is it. All right, and that's it. That is how you use the Planiversity Connect feature. I honestly wish this video would have been a little bit shorter, but it was more important to make sure that you get the right amount of information so that you understand how this feature works. It's an awesome feature. It's only going to get better. We're going to continue to build on it, but just keep in mind, if connecting to a group of individuals, or one person maybe, or 2 people, if that's something that you want to be able to do in your job or your business, just keep in mind that every one of those individuals will have to create a Planiversity profile. Now, again, they don't need to pay anything. If they create an individual profile, all they need is that customer number. They don't even have to give me anything. They just say, hey, Eric, I've just created my profile. You search it by email. Now you've got their information. Now you can actually generate everything. And the only thing they need to do is receive information and execute. So keep in mind, again, you need to build the profile, generate the plan, connect the individuals, and then export it. That's how it works. It's simple and it's only getting better. All right, if you have any questions, any suggestions for us, you want to see something included in the application, reach out to us. Love hearing from people. It's plans@planiversity.com. Until then, take care.